Oui, Mohamed.
Madame
Heureusement.
Mounira.
Oui, ولدي.
تبدا تقري راه.
يسمعوا فيا déjà.
نورمالمون خدم لك الكاميرا.
Ah, c'est pas la peine. C'est pas la peine. Merci, ولدي.
قول لك تسمعوني تقول لك تسمعوني.
باهي d'accord. Merci, عايشك. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Great. Sorry, we've been a little bit late. This is not, actually, I'm not late, but we have been trying with the technology. It took a little bit of time with my assistant. Okay? Right. So let's go directly and save time because we have got only 1 hour together. Okay, first of all, I would like to hear you telling me what you think about this way of, connecting and learning and studying English together. Has it been enough for you? I've been struggling to add 1 session for you. Really. Do you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, Yasmin. I need your feedback about the way we are learning together, we are working. We met just once, right? I have been struggling to meet the second and the third time. I just want you to be aware of what's happening, okay? It's not my fault. Anyway, okay. So let's go directly to page 5, yes? I think we stopped there last time. Yes. We are going to see the language you use when you need to make a data presentation. And this is very common, actually, not only in medicine, but in different fields. We need to make data presentation and data interpreting. Let me find the page first. Page 5. And I'm going to try to be a little bit quick to do the maximum of things together. Okay. So the first page is just to make acquaintance with the language, okay? So when we make a presentation, we need to make graph interpretations. The graphs can be in a form of a line, of lines like here, or a pie chart, we will see a little bit further, or a bar chart. So as you can see in the second one, okay, you can have lines representing statistics or any kind of study. You can have it in a form of a pie chart, the example in B, okay, and it can be like this when we describe a trend, and this is called a bar chart. 3 types of charts and graphs. The common language we use to make interpretation, so it depends on the shape, on the movement. Either it rises, increases, and goes up. It can fall, drop, decrease, or go down. Actually, for go down, you can add the verb plummet, PL, I write it here. How many persons present today? 33. Are you all present here? Do you hear me, all of you, the 33?
Yes.
Okay, great. So plummet, which means
A sharp decline.
yes, it's a sharp drop. Great. Reach a peak. It reaches a peak and then it falls. It can reach a peak, which means at a certain degree, it goes very up and then it changes direction, or it remains steady or the same. steady. Okay. Here's, next you have a rise sharp. We can say rise sharp. It rises steeply and rapidly. Okay, the word steeply, the adverb to describe the movement, clearly the movement, or it rises steadily, gradually, and you have the line to make you understand exactly the movement. You can continue reading alone. You don't need my help to read the following, but I would like you to read it because it is a way, I don't know, but you might be asked to make an interpretation of a pie chart or a bar chart. So the fact of reading, I provide with reading B and C. This is a sample for you to learn how to make interpretation. Okay, so together let's work on language. Complete the table with words from A, opposite. Put a stress mark in front of the stressed syllable of two-syllable words. The first one has been done for you. This is for pronunciation. So for the verb, decrease is the noun, and the verb is to?
Miss,
Can you repeat?
to decrease.
Yes, it's the same, but pronunciation is a little bit different. For the noun, the stress is on the first syllable, as you can see on the table. Decrease. When it is the verb, you're going to pronounce decrease. And both of them are pronounced with an S, not Z. ساعات les étudiants pronounce decrease, and this is not correct. Okay, so the noun is to decrease, and the verb is to decrease. Next, a drop, and the verb is?
To drop.
To drop, the same pronunciation, the same spelling. A fall, and the verb is to?
Fall.
To fall. Increase is the noun. And the verb? Yes, it is the same, but I would like you to pronounce it to see the difference here again in pronunciation. It is the same as the verb to decrease. For the noun, we keep the stress on the first syllable. For the verb, we keep the stress on the second syllable and we pronounce increase. And for the noun, it's increase. Okay? Right. Let's work on the following exercise. Here again, we are focusing on vocabulary, okay? Choose the correct word to complete the description of the bar chart. Look at A and C opposite to help you. So I'm going to read to make it simpler for you. I just ask you for the word. You provide me with the missing word. Figure 6. You can have a look at the figure 6 to help you. Shows, and here again, it is an interpretation of data. So you need to know how to make interpretation of data. This is what you're learning with me. So figure 6 shows that the overall number of cases of HIV either dropped or remained the same according to the chart. You need to have done the exercise before coming to ask me questions. So, dropped, good. Remain the same according to the chart. This is not correct. Yearly until 1988, then you look at figure 6 to help you, to find the word actually. Rose, correct, good. The past of rise, be careful at your irregular verb, please. I keep repeating because I find many funny surprises in your test, really for common verbs, I mean. Okay, rose and rose how? Sharply or gradually? Yes, gradually, correct. Hajar. Cases in heterosexual men and women, people exposed abroad. No, people, sorry, am I skipping a line? Yes, men and women, yes. Number 4. This is number 4. No, increased, according to the chart. It increased steadily, the adverb. Yes, when we make interpretation of a graphs and the chart, we need really to use adverbs to make a clear description of your data. So as you can see, we met the word gradually, steadily. What else? Gradually, steadily, sharply. Okay, you should pay attention to these. Steeply, steeply, quand la pente est raide en français, on dit une pente raide qui peut être très forte. Ou bien steeply, it raises steeply, ça veut dire que la ligne elle est presque droite. Okay, I hope you understand me. Especially for people exposed abroad, the number of infected people injecting drugs, yes, fell or rose? Fell. Fell. I don't know if you are answering me or not. After what? After reaching a peak, good. This may be because of the development of needle exchange schemes, mother to infant transmission, mother to infant transmission, accounted for a small number of cases. Careful management of labor greatly reduced the number in the late 90s. I gave you a link of a video which is really very interesting. I would like you to watch it. I hope you have watched it already, showing you in a clear way how to make an interpretation of different types of graphs. Okay, I hope you did it. Anyway, let's continue on the following page. You see, I am going a little bit fast because we don't have much time. 1 hour is not enough. Okay, the following is going to be very simple. Let me move to the following page. You see, can you see the link for the video? Did you watch it? Can you answer me, please? Did you watch the video? No one? No one did? Okay.
No.
No, you should. You should. It helps. It helps a lot. It helps you because we can't do everything together when we are online. It would be different in a class, but not in here. Okay. This is a simple exercise. I give you different words expressing to go up, and others are used when we make interpretation of a line or a graph going down. So for go up, you're going to use increase, climb, lift and rise. And to go down is going to be fall, decrease, drop, and decline. Shall I repeat, or it's clear? I repeat. Okay, Khulu. So for go up, increase, climb, lift, and rise. These verbs, you're going to use them to describe a line or a graph that is going up. When you would like to to describe a line going down or a graph going down, you're going to use the word fall Of course, you add to these verbs adverbs making a clearer interpretation. So you can say fall steadily, fall rapidly, fall steeply, okay? So fall, decrease, fall, decrease, drop, decline. Okay.
Madam?
Yes.
Madam, I didn't understand the difference between steadily and steeply.
Oh, steadily, c'est presque d'une manière légère, presque d'une manière régulière. D'accord? Il n'y a pas de pic, il n'y a pas de levée brusque, il n'y a pas de levée très importante, très remarquable. Steeply كي تبدا قوية، طلعة قوية ولا هبطة قوية. باهي بنتي.
Okay, thank you, Madam.
You're welcome. So we move to the following one. Sorry. Okay. The question is, match the phrases below to the lines on the right. So here again, imagine you have got just the graph in front of you and you need to make an interpretation. Here I helped you by giving you the expressions, but later you need to know the expressions yourself without being given them. For example, for the expression, for number one, let's go lines in order of descent. معناتها نبداو نعملوا الانتربريتاسيون من الفوق واحنا هابطين باش نكونوا نتبعوا بعضنا. So you're going to make the interpretation lines in order of descent. Okay, so line one, which verb that goes with line one?
Fluctuate.
Yes, good. Fluctuate. Correct. Fluctuate يعني فيها طلعات وهبطات. Ça veut dire ça va monter parfois, ça va descendre. It is not steady. It is not regular. Okay, it goes ups and down. Next. Rise, yes, yes, it rises. عندي أنا rises ولا ما عنديش. حبك تزم I would like you to take expressions from column, the one on the left. Okay, to increase sharply, yes, absolutely. It increases according to the normal level. It increases sharply. I would accept. It's the best alternative I have in here. For the following one. For number three, then, increase slightly. Yes, Manel, correct. When we compare the one before and the number three, both of them increase, but one is increasing sharply and the third is increasing slightly, légèrement, slightly. Next, number four. Yes, go up a little or remain steady. I would accept to remain steady too. Okay, it goes a little bit up. It's almost remaining the same. So we would accept remain steady or go up a little. Good. Next. next is not the same. هجر. It goes slightly down. اللي فوقها it سامحني.
Decrease slightly.
It decreases slightly, yes. Decreases slightly. Decreases slightly, correct. And the third one, the last one actually, we can have different alternatives. Let's take one of these on the list. Yes, decrease sharply, drop sharply, plummet, the verb I gave you, I added to the list. Yes, decrease sharply, drop sharply, they mean the same. Plummet, plummet, as you notice with double M-E-T, and the past form is plummeted. It's a regular verb. Okay? Can I move to the following one?
Yes.
Good. It's an interesting exercise for you, the one we have already done. We have it just done together. Okay, rearrange the words into sentences and match the graph. Okay. So if you give me suggestions, they are very simple. Here again, it can be one of the questions, it can be one of the tasks be given in a test. أو كان سهل عليكم هنا في هالظروف الصعبة. You can have such an activity, why not? Is to reorder, but you will be able to reorder if you understand. Maybe it's a type of questions, it's a type of common questions. Okay? Mixing, so you have to know the words, the vocabulary, the order, the tenses. It's interesting. Okay, so number one. جوهر؟ لا، جوهر، سامحني. جوهر خشيرة. أي جوهر؟ Are you there? خشيرة? No, he left us. Oh yes, you're there. Okay. Hey, Khsheram, can you just give me the... You should have done the exercise. It takes time. We are wasting time. I always ask you to print it, do the task, and then when we meet together, I can answer your questions, give you the right answers. Okay? Okay, let me read what you, Prophet. Prophet, pay attention to your spelling, please. Prophet without A, will you? Okay, yes. Profit will then increase. Yes, why not? Will then increase. Increase how? Sharply for the rest of the year. Correct. Very good. Okay, no problem. No problem. For your spelling. Just pay attention in your test, okay? 2, who would like to take 2? You can read it. I can hear you. Okay, this is Manette, right? The costs will decrease slightly in the next, ما نقولوش in the next, for the next few years. نعطيتك in, نعطيتك for. يا هنا. Okay? Yes, good. أنا أعطيتكم in، أعطيتكم for. واو. ده هو اللي قدامي. ويني in؟ No, we are in 3. ها هاي for يا ولدي. علي تقولي in؟ أهو قدامي. ما عنديش in. I don't have in. Number 2. Oh, we are in number 2. Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Yes, we keep it then in. Sorry. Okay. Number 3. There, yes. I have to add. Okay, I would like to correct something concerning your answer, number 2. Instead of starting the sentence with the cost, costs will decrease slightly in the next few years. The goes with the expression next few years, because we can't say in next few years. This is in number 2. Is that clear, or should I repeat? Okay, I'll repeat. So costs, instead of the cost, costs will decrease slightly in the next few years. Okay, number 3. I should have add a slash after rising. Yes. Costs have been rising. Costs have been rising.
Sharply for the last year.
Yes, sharply. Good. For the last year. For the last year. For is missing. Somebody is answering me from his iPhone. I can't get the name. Okay. For. The preposition for is important. You shouldn't miss it. So costs have been rising sharply for the last year. Next. I think profits will drop for the next 2 months. Yes, correct. Number 5. You don't understand. Oh, لا سامحني. You're right. There isn't anything. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Profits have remained steady for the last 6 months. Correct. Profits have remained steady for the last 6 months. Good. Okay. You need just to read the document yourself. Okay. Not to waste time reading. Okay, let me say What's an abstract first? What's an abstract? If we don't want to read the summary I gave you or the definition I gave you in a clearer word, clearer expressions, clearer and shorter. Actually, it is a speech. It can be a speech in a presentation, or it can be a short piece of writing when you're going to write a scientific article. Okay, you need an abstract, a short piece of writing or a speech that gives the main point of it, the main purpose of it. Okay, this is in a shorter way and simpler. Let's read together.
An abstract is the
A summary, huh? Manel, كتبت لي summarize. This is the verb. Summary with Y. نكتبها. And then I will listen to my student who started just talking. Sorry. Summary, un résumé. And summarize is the verb. Yes, Wildy, I think you were saying something. Okay, no? All right. I thought someone wanted to say something to me. Okay, never mind. A structured abstract. An abstract is a type of summary and may be found in special collections of abstracts, such as midline or in a conference program, in conference programs, as well as at the beginning of a research article. Many journals require contributors or require authors wishing to publish their articles in the journal to provide structured abstract. So before, when you would like to publish something, you needed to send an abstract so they can get an idea about the topic you're going to write about. An abstract which is divided into specific sections, and then so the specific sections of an abstract are objective, the design, the setting, the subject, the main outcome, measure. Outcome is the conclusion, is the consequence. It can be the result, okay? And the conclusion. So when you make a research, you come to outcomes. You would like to reach an outcome. You have to prove why you are doing this research because you would like to explain a specific result, okay? And here you have got examples that you need to read. Okay, take your time and you read it. Right. So we're going maybe to need certain lexical items used in the text you read before. So complete the sentence. The sentence is actually from 1 to 5. Look at B, opposite to help you. So how do we call the aim or purpose of a research?
Subject.
It's the objective, it's the aim, yes. The location, the country, or a part of a country, example, hospital, school, so the location, it's the setting, le local, le décor. So if we are talking about a play, مسرحية, or we're going to talk about a setting of a novel, ça veut dire, يعني la scène وين توقع. Elle a lieu dans un cadre, le cadre. C'est exactement le terme. Next, 3, the people that the researchers studied. Well, it depends, people or things, actually. It depends on your research. It depends on the study you are making. So they can be people, and they can be something different, but you are working on them. They are the subjects. Si vous parlez d'un cas, the subject, ça pourrait être ou bien le malade, ou bien la maladie. This is the subject. Okay? The result,
Outcome.
the outcome, and the type of study, for example, randomized controlled trial, the type of study, the pattern of line, the general plan.
The design.
It's the design. So the design, let me explain a little bit more. The design is the intention that someone has in mind when he or she is doing something. When we start doing something, when we start working on something, we have an idea, we have something in mind. We would like to tell, to explain, and to transmit. This is the design. Okay? All right. So to answer the following questions, 2 and 3, you need to have read the text. So this is going to be the work you can do really without my help. You don't need me to answer these questions. Let's move to page 10. Someone is talking? Are you asking me a question? No? Okay. I sent you listening, MP3 of the different listening. Why did I send you this? To have read them before coming, to have listened and answered the questions. Are you ready for that? Can you answer me back, please? Nobody is answering? So what shall I do? Do you want me, let's see if you can, do you want me to put the MP3?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes. على الأقل جاوبوني أنا باش نجم نخدم معاكم. Okay, let me see if I can, let's try. Track 50.
Exercises 6 and 7, page 21. What's the trouble today?
Well, doctor, I don't...
Can you hear the MP3?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
great. Great, then. We continue listening and you try to do the activity 7 and you will need the conversation to complete the activity just below the following task. So in 7, you have 1 and 2. For the listening, you have 2 tasks. Number 1, to complete the conversation. And the second one is to, you're going to complete a symptom checklist. Okay, let's begin. All right.
Exercises 6 and 7, page 21. What's the trouble today?
Well, doctor, I don't feel well at all. I'm sure I have the flu.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have you been coughing?
A little, but mostly I'm wheezing. It's hard to breathe.
And have you noticed that your nose is running?
Oh, yes. I've been blowing my nose constantly.
Okay, do you have pain throughout your body?
I do have muscle aches, and I'm so tired that I can hardly do anything. Do you think it's the flu, doctor?
Well, you have a pretty high fever. It looks like you're right about the flu. You'll need plenty of rest, and I'll prescribe something to ease the symptoms.
Okay. Who would like to read the conversation and complete with what missing?
Okay.
Yes, please. What's your name?
Bushra Sharif.
Okay, Bushra, please go ahead.
What's the trouble? What's the trouble today? Well, doctor, I don't feel well. I don't feel well at all. I'm sure I have the flu.
Continue.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have you been?
Yes. Have you been coughing? For the student who has answered correctly, Bushra or another one, it's not a problem. Just would like you, I would like to check if you make a difference in the use of tensors, or if you need help. So why do you think here she said, the doctor said, have you been coughing? This is the present perfect continuous, right? Why do you think we are using the present perfect continuous in this question?
It begins in the past and continues in the present.
قاعدة تصير في الباست وما زالت قاعدة تصير توا in the present.
Yes, and I would like you to explain in English. It would be nicer. Yes, correct. So he is.
It happens in the past and continue in the present.
Yes, and continues in the present. مش حتى to the present, because for the present perfect simple and the present perfect progressive, the slight difference is the present perfect can be used for an action that started in the past until the present and then it stops. But when we would like to insist that it continues in the present, we prefer the present perfect to progressive. So he knows, he has seen the patient coughing, and he would like to know the period of time he has been coughing that way, okay? So I'm sorry to hear that. Have you been coughing? Which means for a long time, since you arrived, since you start feeling unwell. Yes, who would like to continue then? Manel, Damak? Number one, please, feel well. Feel well. When you are given two blanks, we need two words. Have I answered you? Okay, Manel answered me. Yasmin answered me. Hard to breathe. Hard to breathe. You can speak. Yasmin, we can hear you. I can hear you very well. Can you hear me very well?
Yes.
Good. So hard to breathe. Okay, pay attention to the word, to the noun and the verb. To breathe and breath. Okay? Breath is the noun. When we say the expression to be out of breath, ما عادش عندي نفس نقولوا ما عادش I am, for example, after running for a long time, you just say, oh, I am out of breath. Okay? Breath.
Madam?
Yes.
Madam, can you write it in the conversation, please?
Yes, I have just written it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Look, to breathe, you write it with an E at the end, and pronunciation differs. Breath without E and pronunciation is different. Manel, you said you couldn't hear me. No, breath is the noun, Binti, Maryam Haji. Out of a breath, breath is the noun without E, and the verb is to breathe. Yes, Saddam. Okay. نرجع للبنية اللي ما تسمعنيش بالباهي. Manel, can you hear me now? Because I can hear you very, very well. Okay, Manel, you hear me, great. So hard to breathe, breathe قلنا بالأ, okay? And have you noticed that your nose is running, runny the adjective? Oh yes, I have been, eh? It's interesting to learn these common expressions in English. They are very common when you see a patient. Not cooling, blowing. Blowing, I write it. Yes, like Azza did, blowing my nose constantly. Focus on the adverb to describe. The adverbs are very accurate. If you need to make accurate and precise description of a situation, when you make an interpretation of a graph, or you describe the state of a patient, you need adverbs constantly. Okay, do you have pain throughout your body? Throughout, look at the spelling. بعد ما تقوليش مدام دفوارك صعيب ها أو كنت أبوك. I do have
muscle aches.
Yes, muscle aches. I write it. Muscle. تكتب muscle وننطقها muscle. Aches. Muscle aches. And I am so tired that I can hardly do anything. Do you think it's the flu, doctor? Well, you have a pretty high fever. High fever. Good. انتم يا اخي سامحوني باش نقول لكم بالعربي المره اللي فاتت جو vous senti très préparé et ça m'a fait it sounds like COVID to me. Maybe Saddam, maybe. Yes, at this time of the year we can think only of COVID-19. I'm sure. Yes. Yes. I felt that you were a pretty more prepared last time. شبيكم اليوم? It's at the timing 1 p.m. Okay. Okay, let's continue to complete the flu symptom checklist. And as I told you, we are with me, you are rather working on writing بالنسبة للسمستر هذا الأولاني to write a checklist, to write memos, we will see, to make interpretation of graphs, etc. So according to the conversation we have, you're going to write the flu symptoms checklist. Does your patient have the flu? Let's check the symptoms. So does he have any fever? قاعدين تتابعوا معايا ولا مشيتوا تفطروا؟
A pretty high fever.
Yes, a pretty high fever. So we check fever. We check fever in the checklist. We check muscle aches. And then you have to write if there is something else you need to describe.
A runny nose.
Runny nose, yes, correct. What else? Something important.
Little cough.
Coughing and wheezing. فاهمين wheezing ها؟ الكحة اللي تبدا الواحد يزفر بريسك. عرفتوا؟ The difference between coughing and wheezing. And pay attention to the spelling of wheezing. It exists in your document. W-H-E-E-Z-I-N-G. Okay? So you can write the patient is experiencing a runny nose, coughing, and wheezing. These are the things that you should add to the checklist. Yes. Recommendation. What are you going to recommend? This is the important part of your work.
resting in bed, drinking a lot of liquids,
Yes.
having, I don't know, a medication, paracetamol or something to increase the fever.
To decrease the fever.
Oh, yeah, decrease, sorry.
It's okay. Yes. Good. And I think he should have a plenty of rest and vitamin C. Vitamin C, yes. Yes, Yasmin. So the patient should, as you are going to give recommendation, pay attention to the language you use. You will be resorted to modal verbs such as should. We prefer should to must, even when it is something obligatory, because it's still the patient's decision. You give advice and then it depends on him. Okay? So the patient should get plenty of rest, plenty of liquid, take medication to relieve the symptoms. COVID test, شادين في الكوفيد. Vous êtes, yes, why not? And undergo a COVID test. Okay, I think it's time. خليكم تمشيوا وتحضروا روحكم عندكم كور après, hein?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not going to keep you longer. We will see each other on Thursday, inshallah. قالوا لكم هكا. Okay, on Thursday. Thank you, all of you, for those who have been present. Please get ready if you've got questions, because it's going to be the last session next time. Okay? سمعتوني?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I will answer all your questions. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.